I'm Sierra Scott, and we are in beautiful Telluride, Colorado, which is home to the Telluride Festival of Cars and Colors, which is ranked one of the top car shows in the nation. In fact, USA Today ranked it the third best car show. I think it's the first, but I will acquiesce. That's what USA Today says, and I think that's not a bad rating. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than pairing exquisite cars with exquisite champagnes, exquisite wines, and exquisite spirits. And we have two representatives. They are actually Colorado distributors. And I have Mikkel and Dwayne Ross, and they're going to talk about these exquisite, and this is not something you can just get anywhere. So Mikkel, talk about these amazing bottles first of all.
We are so excited to bring these bottles to Telluride. The bottles are actually made of carbon at the Bugatti factory, like where the carbon is put on cars. And it's Grand Cru level champagne. There's many varietals of champagne in them and many colors you can pick from. And we hope to have this all available to you at the Cars and Colors Festival next year.
And it's not just the bottles, although I want to collect the bottles, but the champagnes themselves are absolutely exquisite as well.
Yes, the center one, which is the Bugatti champagne, is actually a navy blue. And it's become a very collectible bottle, as you can see. But it also has Grand Cru level champagne from France. It's bottled right at the Bugatti factory. It's actually made of 90% Chardonnay and 10% Pinot Noir.
Wow.
It's delicious. The bubbles are super small and silky. It's very handcrafted by the family. And you know, the Bugattis are only going to put the best in their bottles.
Oh, absolutely. And they only put the best in their automobiles too. So
exactly.
I would expect no less. And not only are the bottles absolutely incredible, but they're different sizes. So
yes,
I love this bottle, but all of them are different and unique and really collectible. I would want the whole set.
Yes. So you can get them in the 750 milliliter, the traditional size, and you can get them in the larger sizes, the magnums. You can they also come in a gift box if you prefer that. If you're giving it as a gift or a wedding, a wedding present or something, and you want it to really look spectacular, we do have those available. They're black lacquer, and they pretty much match this Blanc de Blanc with the gold trim. So those are available, but yes, it's hard not to want them all. The Bugatti Carbon bottle is actually a 2002 vintage. And so it's not something that you're going to be able to just bottle. It's one of their best vintages they put in the Bugatti bottle. The Blanc de Blanc is actually a 2012 vintage. It's 100% Chardonnay. It comes in a black bottle with the gold trim. It's spectacular looking. We also are the official Formula One champagne. I don't know if you've seen the Formula One races where they actually take the bottle and slam it on the ground.
I wouldn't want to slam that bottle.
That's the thing. They're made with carbon fiber so they won't break.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, yes. Oh, that's so neat. They're so unique.
It actually takes them a week to make a bottle.
They're
very handcrafted.
And talk a little bit about the families too that are involved in these champagnes, because I think that makes them very unique as well.
Yeah, so the Carbon family is actually in France. Their chateau is in France, and they actually partnered with Bugattis, who are from Italy but live in France. So it's actually French Grand Cru level champagne from the French vineyard.
Which is a big deal because for wine lovers, and they understand this, that's a big deal because not every product that's put out gets that designation.
Right. French wine has a lot of requirements, and therefore their champagne and their wines are typically, because they have so many requirements, very, very good.
Yeah.
And then we have the rosé, which is the pink bottle.
I love this. It's so pretty. This is really a beautiful bottle.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And that is non-vintage. And it is 50% Chardonnay, 25% Pinot Noir, and 25% Meunier.
It's beautiful.
And it's quite delectable. It's very fruity and very smooth. And then we also have bottles that actually aren't made out of carbon fiber. It's actually a glass replica.
Oh, yeah, I can tell. If you compare them, you can kind of tell the difference. Wow.
And the reason they did this is because this is actual light up bottle. There's a button on the bottom, and the Brut lights up. Yes, the Brut lights up light blue, and the Rosé lights up bright pink.
Oh,
so it's quite unique.
Yeah, they are really unique. And not only are these incredible champagnes, but these aren't the only ones you have. You have one also to offer, don't you, Dwayne?
Out of the 17 Grand Cru level champagne houses in France, we carry 2 of them. The first one is of course, our Carbon. We also feature a Roger Constant Lemire champagne, several varietals of their champagnes as well. One of their famous champagne bottles, the Trianon 1966. This vintage is a vintage champagne from a 1966 recipe by Roger Constant Lemire himself.
Oh, wow.
They have continued the tradition every year producing this Grand Cru level champagne. It has won many awards the last 8 years in France. Not only France, but international awards also.
Now, are all of these limited editions? In other words, they don't make a whole lot of bottles of any of these, do they? Or do they?
They do not. They're very limited quantities. We are lucky enough to have exclusivities at both of these champagne houses.
Wow, that's incredible.
We're new distributors, and we've been very lucky to get the premium champagnes and wines from France and Italy. And most distributors don't carry this level of champagnes, and they aren't that easy to find. So we're really excited to get them out in Colorado.
That's one of the things you decided to do, a big kind of join together between you and Cars and Colors. Why did you choose to kind of pair with the Festival of Cars and Colors?
We love the quality of Cars and Colors, the people that come, and the quality of the car show is you can't find anywhere. And I think our products match that. I think that the people that come to Telluride are just going to love these products.
Oh, I know they're going to love these products. I got to try one of them, and I will tell you, amazing. So I know the quality that the rest of them have to be. Now, it's not just these products. You also have some distilled products that we can show as well. Isn't that right?
We do.
Okay.
We feature...
and I tried those as well. Amazing.
We feature Nicolas Jules. He's a master distiller from Paris. He has petitioned the city of Paris for several years to allow him to produce these spirits. Paris has been a prohibition city for over 100 years.
Really?
And
That's
there's not been alcohol produced in Paris for over 100 years. Finally, a few years ago, he was able to procure his distiller's license from the city. They allowed him to open a still, and he has produced over 90 different spirits since in the last 5 years.
Wow.
He's just a phenomenal person, very intellectual, but he has a world's renowned still maker, Arnold Holstein, has made him a custom-made copper still that he distills all of his products out of.
Wow. This is fantastic. I know I tried a couple, and I will be honest with you, I usually don't love gin. Gin's not one of my favorites. I was surprised last night when I sampled these. This gin is so smooth, you can actually drink it on the rocks, and I thought it was fantastic. What makes these so different?
His distilling process. He, the level of distilling that he uses is second to none. Just the way he distills it, and the many levels, and the way he constructs them. As he explains to us when he visited, he draws his spirits out into four sections and builds pillars and columns before he ever starts the distilling process.
What makes them so different?
You know, it's the traditions that he uses, the raw materials. You know, and speaking of the raw materials, he will procure the agave certain agave plants from Mexico and have them imported to Paris for him. He uses the maple syrup from Quebec. He has sampled hundreds of different maple syrups to find just the right one for his maple spirits. So the raw materials, he's very particular on what he uses for his products. And also his distillation process, very particular on how he distills his products. Many levels of distillation that he uses.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. And one of the things too, and I have to say one of my favorites was the brandy. And I'm not a huge fan of brandy, but this was so unique. And I just think it's very interesting that these products don't taste like anything else I've had on the market.
They don't. They are very light, very concentrated also. So you don't use a whole lot of them.
He designs them so that when you dilute them in a drink, that it doesn't take away from the flavor, that it's diluted appropriately so you have the right amount of alcohol content. You don't need a ton of it, but it doesn't take away from the actual drink. So it's phenomenal.
Nicola himself is an innovations consultant and training and marketing consultant for 3 of the top international boards. Diego, which is a British multinational alcoholic beverages company based in London. He also consults with Perrault Ricard, a French company, and Remy Control, who is a very internationally known French alcoholic beverages company, which dates back to 1724. So he's world-renowned consultant.
Definitely knows what he's doing.
He does. He does.
And also, we have some wines to talk about too that you guys have that are unique and different from some of the other wines available on the market. So I want to be sure to talk about those as well, because again, I got to try one of them last night. It was really interesting. I think they have definitely a different mouthfeel to them. What makes these wines so unique, do you think?
So a good wine has multiple levels when you taste it. It's not just on the tongue and in the cheeks and then you swallow it with that acidic after hot taste. It actually, when you have it in your tongue and then it goes into your cheeks, it's very mellow and full-bodied, and then as you swallow it has a long finish. So once you start drinking these wines, it's kind of hard to go back to a cheaper wine or a wine that doesn't have as good quality. All our wines are like that. There's not a wine that we carry that isn't Grand Cru level or a Superior. Our families are very well known in France. Not as well known in America because they're hard to bring over. They're small families that aren't typically imported. Most of all of our vineyards are over 100 years old. All family owned still, generation after generation making the wines. All of our wines are 95 points or higher on the Wine Spectator. When you go into a liquor store and you see that little point system under a wine, that's a Wine Spectator rating the wines. And we only pick wines that are either Superior, Grand Vin, 95 points or higher. So we have the quality stuff. We have Barton family wines. They actually won first spot on the rating for Wine Spectator for 2019. And they have 3 vineyards. We have exclusive rights on one of the vineyards, Moulvesson Barton, and we have this wine available for Telluride Cars and Colors. We would encourage you to try it. It is, they know what they're doing over there. They make a spectacular wine. We also have La Conquet 2015 Bordeaux, and it's actually owned by 3 generations of women. And they're not only known for the grapes, which is kind of a fun fact, they actually get first place in all their flowers.
Oh, wow. How interesting. See, all these wines, what I love about wines, it's not just the wine itself, it's the stories behind them. It's the whole experience. And I think that's really interesting.
Yes, and these French families, they've taken to us so much that they've actually come to visit us already from France. And they say, what is America like? And what kinds of things can we bring you? What are you looking for? And as they visit and they see Cars and Colors, they're going to be so excited to share their products. So right here we just have kind of a sample of some of our wines. We have a Panay, which is very people like Panay's. We have a Bidet, we have a Pomerol, we have a Saint Emilion. We have a white Bordeaux. I don't know if you've tried a white Bordeaux.
No, and I would love to try that. I saw that and I thought, how unique. No, I've not.
And Dwayne here doesn't like white wine, and he loves that white Bordeaux.
Oh,
Fabulous.
that's interesting.
And then we have an Italian family on the end. That's a Barbara d'Asti. So they're actually from, that's Guste Clemente. They're very popular in Italy, and their wine is just fabulous as well.
That's so cool. And I love the fact, again, I want to go back to, because you chose to pair with the Telluride Festival of Cars and Colors. Why do you think these wines go so well with those exquisite cars?
I just encourage anyone to try them. Once they try them, they will speak for themselves.
Oh, I agree. And the one you had me try was over the top, so I can't even imagine all the rest of them. It was just amazing. You two are the only Colorado distributors for these wines, is that correct?
Correct.
We have exclusivities on about 80% of our products. You can get a few of them from other distributors, but there are many of them you cannot. And we try to, we kind of like it that way because we want for you to try a wine that you can only get certain places.
And again, I go back to, it's all experience, and I think that is wonderful. So if somebody wants to either feature your wines in their restaurants, or if somebody wants to maybe find a way to get a hold of these wines, how do they do that?
You can find us on premiumselect.biz is our website. Also, we're going to be on 750 in just a few weeks. So those, since we're a distributor, if you are a retailer and you would like to get our products, you can order directly from 750, and of course delivery is free.
So what do you think makes some of these wines, champagne, spirits, so special?
Yes, Premium Select, we are specializing in exclusivities and family relationships. We bring premier family estate, ultra premium handcrafted products, wine, champagnes, and spirits to Colorado's most discriminating clientele.
I love it. I cannot wait. It's time, I think, for us to go sample. So thank you both. I'm telling you, this has been a great experience. Thank you for explaining all these amazing products, and I cannot wait to try them.
Thank you, Sierra.
Thank you, Sierra.